Hi, my name is Grace Johnson and I'm going to show you how to make some pot stickers, Chinese pot stickers. Pot stickers are very easy to make, very few ingredients, things that you can pick it up at your normal grocery store. I'm going to use some of these ingredients. Like I'm going to chop some napa. This is Chinese napa, which you can get at the grocery store as well. And everything needs to be shredded, very fine. And so I'm just going to use this. I'm not going to, and it's very fast. So I'm going to put some in there right now. And I probably need about, this is about 1 pound of ground pork. And I probably need about maybe 1 cup of the shredded Chinese napa. Okay. And then I probably need about 1 cup of the carrots. I have some leftover baby carrots. And then I'll just put all this in, maybe 3 of these green onions. And I'm going to use maybe about 2 tablespoons, maybe about this little much of ginger. And to use ginger, you have to peel the outside. Okay, now just shred it in, put it all in. It's not really shredding right now. Okay. And the combination smells very good. Okay, so I'm going to put this in to my 1 pound pork. Now, I like a lot of veggies, so this might be quite a bit for some people, but it also gives more volume for me, so I enjoy it. Then you just put a very tiny little bit of salt, maybe about a teaspoon, or even less than that. It doesn't take much. I have the sea salt, so about a teaspoon. I eye it. It's not rocket science. Then maybe about 2 tablespoons, maybe 1 tablespoon about sesame oil. And to get it well blended, I like to just use my hands. And I like to do the smell test. If it smells really, really good and fragrant, you know you have the right combination. Sometimes you put a little bit and you can't really smell the pork. Then you might want to add a little bit more of the ginger, or possibly just a little bit of the sesame oil. Those 2 ingredients really makes this smell really good. Okay. And I can smell it right here. All right. Okay, now I'm going to use an ingredient that may not be found at your local grocery store. You might have to go to an Oriental Chinese store or any type of Asian store. They should have this. And this is, there are so many types of pot sticker wrappers. They're mostly called dumpling wrappers. There's white kinds. They're all the same, with the same ingredients. Maybe they might use a little bit of coloring in these pot stickers, but any type of dumpling wrapper will do. So, and they're really thin, so you might have to break them apart. They usually come in frozen, and so you would have to thaw it for a few days, for a couple of days, and then they usually peel and separate pretty easily. So but they do stick once you fill it. So what I'm going to do is going to flour my surface. Just lightly. And you need a little bit of water to seal your pot stickers. And what you would do is maybe about 1 tablespoon of this pork mixture, and take a little bit of water, put on the top half of the dumpling wrapper. Then I'm going to fold it over. There's a couple ways of doing this. This way is a prettier way. It makes it look more presentable. You want to push this in and seal it, and then you push it in and seal it. So you're making a little bit, you're making a sealant, and this looks really pretty like that. Okay, and you can just set it here. And easier, so I'll show you another way. You can just put it on the 1/2 of the dumpling and you just seal it. This is a much easier way, and it works too. If it didn't stick very well, just put a little bit more water. And I find that this will stick pretty well. You don't need any egg whites or anything like that. This seals pretty well. And so you can make usually a pound of the ground pork with the ingredients in there. We'll make a little bit, we'll make about 1 pack of this. So that's it. There's several ways to making dumplings. You can fry them, or you can boil them. Boiling is a little bit healthier version if you want to do that, but I will demonstrate both. I have a fryer here, but you can just put a little bit of a pot and put some oil on your stove top and fry them that way. But it takes about 2 minutes, and I have it set at about 325, and I'll put it in here for about 2 minutes, and you want to just lightly brown. So I set it in there. In the meantime, I will demonstrate how to make the sauce for dipping the dumplings. And that's why I didn't put so much salt, because most of the time you will use some sort of dipping sauce for it anyways, and there's enough flavor where you don't need to put as much salt in your meat mixture. So I'll just fill maybe about 4 tablespoons, 1/4 cup. And I use, this is the soy sauce. Kikkoman is one of my favorite brands that I like to use, but you can use any type of brands, whatever that you use. I like to put the Chinese barbecue sauce. This is not the typical typical barbecue sauce that you may be used to at the grocery store. This is an Asian type of barbecue sauce, and I put very tiny bit, a little. If you buy one of this, it'll last a long time. So just a little bit. And we like spiciness in our house, so we like to use like some sort of chili garlic. And there's many different forms, many brands at the Oriental market. So I just put maybe 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon of that chili garlic sauce. And I use the sesame oil. Any form of sesame oil is fine. These can be all found at the grocery store. Maybe just a dash of that. And some sort of distilled white vinegar or apple cider vinegar is fine. And you need maybe about 1/2 teaspoon of that. Not very much. And this is a very tasty mixture. And So I usually add a little bit of water just to kind of dilute it to make more sauce. Now you can add green onions to it. You can add some parsley to it. Make it look green, and they all taste pretty good. So this is lightly brown, which means that it's pretty much done. Uh-oh, you won't eat that. You let that cool for a little bit before serving. And I'll use the rest of these dumplings to boil them, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, then the pot is boiling, and what I'll do is just put them in, and this is about 2 minutes as well, maybe 3 minutes. Usually when they're done, they'll float, so that's another way of using it, but maybe we'll just put it in there for 3 minutes. Sometimes I leave it in there for 4 minutes, so it just depends. So 3 or 4 minutes. When they all float, just kind of check it a little bit, and then, you know, it should be done. So we'll wait another 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, it's been about 3 minutes. So, and if you kind of look, all the dumplings are floating. Strain it. Now you can put oil in here so they don't stick, but I don't have as much dumplings in here, so I don't have a sticking problem. But if you want to boil a lot of them, you can always put a little bit of sesame oil in here to keep it from sticking, kind of like you would do with spaghetti. You put vegetable oil. But in this case, you can put sesame oil, vegetable oil as well. There you go. This is my finished product. That's the boiled version, and then the fried version. And I added a little bit of the some cilantro in here, and so it adds some color, and it looks pretty, and it tastes great too. So that is my presentation on how to make Chinese potstickers or Chinese dumplings. Hopefully I will have more lessons available on my blog in the near future. Thank you for visiting.